Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word, truth and sincerity, and to the remnant men, women, and children of the elect. To you all, I say Shalom. My name is Ahyash, and I'm back with another lesson through the power and the spirit of Yahawah. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I came across this video as I was kind of like scrolling through YouTube, kind of came up on my feed, and it's one of those well-known clips with the minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, and basically he's checking this Edomite. He's checking this Edomite on his pride, his hypocrisy, and it's a well-known video, right? So I wanted to do a land back lesson on this and go into the scriptures and show what the history and what the scriptures say about the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, which, you should know by now. I mean, if you're not new to this, but again, it's about continuously edifying the flock, making sure you stay in the spirit and understand who this man is and what he's about, making sure you don't ever lose sight, right? You don't ever lose sight of the judgments that are coming for Esau, Edom, for Babylon the Great, and making sure, you stay locked into that spirit, because, you might see this devil doing something so-called good or whatever the case is, and you might you might want to feel a little bit of mercy or whatever for this devil, but but no, absolutely not. Okay, the so-called white man, he deserves every bit of the judgments that are coming to him, his kingdom, his people, for the atrocities that he's committed throughout the four corners of the earth. So I'm gonna play this, and I got some scriptures lined up.
He didn't go to Egypt, where Sadat and Begin made peace, a Muslim and a Jew. Didn't go to Jordan, where King Hussein and Shimon Peres have made an accord. Didn't go to Israel, where Arafat and Rabin finally shook hands. Instead of just going to a lot of dictatorships, to go to a democratic country where Jews and Muslims are beginning to reconcile might have been a wonderful sign for you, Minister Farrakhan, to show to the world.
If they're on the road to reconciliation, that's fine. But, there's also the possibility of my being assassinated overseas. Egypt right now is a place where it's very, very volatile. And I thought that in that surrounding, it might not be the best place for me at this time. If I went to Israel, I don't think Israel would be the best place for me to be at this time, considering the view that most Jews have of Louis Farrakhan.
You go to Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now, here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak.
Shout out to my VIPs up front.
And let me just go back to that, right? Because although we don't agree with the Nation of Islam and, you know, the Minister Louis Farrakhan and such, the truth of the matter is that what he's saying is 100% absolutely true. The so-called white man has brought hell to the planet Earth, to different nations. Speaking of corrupt regimes, there's no one more corrupt than the so-called white man, than Esau Edom. Okay, there's no one on the planet Earth, there's no nation more corrupt than Esau Edom. All right, the scriptures say, let me see, I think it's one of the verses that I had, but let me just go right to it. Let me see, Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 7, it says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. Okay, so you know, on face value, it seems like, you know, America, Babylon the Great, is some sort of a moral judge, and they have a standard, and they, you know, they want to bring peace across the globe and all these different things. But the truth of the matter is, this is the most corrupt regime, this is the most corrupt kingdom the world has ever seen. You know what I mean? If you go into the documentary Economic Hitman, it shows how they go into different nations, and they destabilize economies and whole regions. Okay, and then those nations end up submitting to the will of Babylon the Great, ultimately the so-called white man. All right. So like the Minister Farrakhan was saying, you know, Esau, Edom, America, Babylon the Great, they're in no moral position to be a judge in any way, shape, or form, or speak on corruption as if they sit on some sort of moral high ground. That is absolute nonsense, man. And Yahawashi is going to bring hell on this place for exactly that. Okay, for its pride, for its hypocrisy, and ultimately for its evil and its wickedness that is committed. All right, the scriptures say, all right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. It says, really verse 5, the point, but I'll start at verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. All right, so the sins of America, the sins of Babylon the Great, have reached unto the heavens. All right, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. So Babylon, Esau, you don't get to escape the judgments. The Lord is on your ass. Okay, the Most High remembered your iniquities. And remember what you've done to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the nation of Israel. How you brought us over here and you completely destroyed us. And when I say completely destroyed us, I mean obviously we're still here, right? But you know, you've done a number on our people, man, and you've dealt with us treacherously, as the scriptures say, right? And like the minister was saying, you know, you spilled the blood of so many people, of so many nations across the globe. The nerve of you to sit here and speak on corruption. You know, it's mind-boggling when you see these so-called white people get in front of these cameras and these microphones and sit up there and act like and play innocent, man. All right, it's absolutely mind-boggling. All right, let me get the book of Micah, because like Farrakhan was saying, you know, they spilled so much blood. And this is the spirit of the so-called white man. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to the oppressors. Okay, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they take fields and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's man, that's just ultimately what you see from this man, right? That's his history. That's his pattern of works. All right. He devised iniquity and worked evil upon his bed. Look at what it says in the NLT. What sorrow waits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? And that's what he does, because that's what he created to be. That's what he was created to be. That's who he was created to be. Okay, you rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so. And the scriptures say this earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right, he has the power to do so because the Lord gave him the power to do so. Okay, so the one that's in the rulership seat at the moment, and you can see the state of the world under his rulership. That's why Proverbs 29:2 says, it mentions Slakia. My mind is kind of shot right now, but I'll just go right to it. Proverbs 29 and verse 2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the so-called white man, the people mourn. And that's why the world is in the state of mourning, because the wicked beareth rule. Right? He has the power. He sits in the power seat, and that's why they're speaking about, you know, there's a shortage of oil in the world, which is BS. This is why economies are failing and currencies are failing. Okay? You see homelessness on the rise. You see wars and rumors of wars. People can't agree. All right? There's so many different religions, and there's so many different false gods, and this place is absolutely complete confusion, man. Because Esau, Edom bear rule, and the people are mourning. The world is in a state of chaos. Right? There's no order. There's no true judgment. There's no true justice. Okay? It's just iniquity, sin upon sin upon sin, which is iniquity. All right? And that's what we see from this man. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 10, and verse 7 or 4? Let me see. Verse 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Okay, so you can't point out a time where Esau, Edom's ways haven't been grievous. You know, he's a conniver. He's a thief. All right. He's a deceiver. He's a murderer. He's all things bad. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, in his mind, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And that's the pride of this devil. All right, look what it says in NLT. They think nothing bad will ever happen to us. We will be free of trouble forever. And that's the mentality of the so-called white man. That mentality has trickled down, so to speak, to, you know, these Americans, man. They don't ever think America will be in they don't ever think America will not be on the top. They always find themselves in a place where they feel like things will work itself out. But little do they know, the Lord has a set judgment in terms of the hegemony known as Babylon the Great. You know what I mean? And it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. Verse 7 said, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So when we say these things about the so-called white man by Esau, we're not making this up. All right? People just haven't been able to identify this nation of people through the Bible. So the scriptures have identified him as Esau, Edom, the wicked. All right? And his time is up. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Verse 8, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Does that not describe Esau, Edom to the T? It absolutely does, because that's who he is. And that's who he's always been. All right, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Right, he croucheth, he humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And that's why, you see the men of the Lord sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst thereof, because we need the Lord to remember this man's iniquities. We need the Lord to keep his eyes fully on this devil, so that when judgment comes, it's justified. Right? Verse 12, arise, O Lord Yahawah, O God, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. All right, so we need the Lord to lift us up and remember us, and make sure those judgments for the wicked come to pass. All right, we want to see our enemies pay and suffer for what they've done. And we don't care. It may sound harsh or whatever, man, but we don't care, man. We just don't. We want this man to go down. I'll just get two more quick precepts and close it out. We ain't forget. We feeling it every day, man. Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. So that cup will actually, let me finish this off. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, which represent the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right? So it says, again, verse 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwells in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Okay? So you will be, you will feel the Lord's indignation. All right? That cup of the Lord's indignation, of the Lord's wrath. You will feel that. All right? Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. And the Lord's going to strip this man, strip him naked. And we're going to see, and the world is going to see, and he'll be revealed, because the wicked is being revealed as we speak. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. The punishment that was handed to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, it has been accomplished. It's over. Okay? We're going through our last bit of what the Lord prepared for us in terms of our captivity, our punishment, and these curses are going to be lifted up off our people and placed on these nations. All right? And the Lord says he will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. It will be exposed. And what more can you ask for? All right? May the will of Yahawashi be done. All right? Last verse. Let me get Nahum 1. Nahum 3 and 1. Okay, Nineveh's complete ruin. All right, and America's a modern day Nineveh. Woe to the bloody city. Woe to the bloody city. Okay, and America represents the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. And we're waiting for that woe, that sorrow, those judgments to come upon, that destruction to come upon the bloody city, America, Babylon the Great. And Esau is synonymous with this place. And may the Lord bring all types of hell upon this place, as it is written, the calamities, the punishments, the fire, the famine, everything. We want this man to feel all of it, okay, for the atrocities and the wickedness he's committed on the earth. All right, so with that, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope we were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Makakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.